Aloha, welcome to Marriage on the Spot. We're your co-hosts, Kent and Elizabeth Kitagawa, and we're moving into Christmas soon. And one of the things that we really find out about this time of year is that it can be fun, it can be very stressful, yes, and very, very busy. So, this is sometimes, though we think it's a time for spending time together, and family and all of this, which it is, but a lot of times we spend more time in the prep, and spending more time going shopping and the craziness and the busyness, and our the relationships at home can get very, very strained. And this is where what we want to talk about today is ways that we can renew our joy in our marriage, even in the midst of the craziness. Yes, and this is actually, we're taking this from Drs. Les and Leslie Parrott, who are the authors of the very famous book, Save Your Marriage Before It Starts, right?
And save your marriage while it starts and lasts.
Yeah, or after it starts, right?
That's my title.
Yeah. And we have to, be intentional in the middle of all the stress and craziness, especially that builds up during this time. And so I just want to, we want to share some of the tips that they give. They are relationship experts. By the way, they created what the Center for Marriage and Relationships at the University of Washington. So they are recognized experts in this area.
Yeah, and they're doing the test and assessment for SIMBIS in short, but it's Save Your Marriage
before it starts. Right.
So.
But they've created assessments. They've done so many. They continue to do a lot of speaking engagements, even though I think they've slowed down on their actual teaching, in terms of at the university itself. But they go all over the country still to speak, and this is their passion, right?
Yeah.
So.
And we had a training with them so that we can do those assessments all over the world. We had. Was it just the last Christmas? Yeah, it was last Christmas we started that. Save Your Marriage Before It Starts with a couple who is living here. He lives here in Hawaii, and the wife at that time, the fiancé, was in Africa.
Yeah.
And they wanted to get married early March, but then because of COVID, they couldn't get back and forth and get a visa. So he went one time over there. He could go there, but she couldn't come to USA. And so, but we were very fortunate that a few months later she could come, and Kent had the privilege
of performing their wedding.
Their wedding, yeah.
And that was a fun. It was a fun wedding. It was, and it was a very interesting, of course, and they were very committed to the process, of taking this premarital training course.
Yeah, here it was 7:00 in the evening, and over there was 7
a.m.
in the morning. She had to rush to go to work. And so the first time we actually saw her was it the week before they got married?
Oh no, about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks
before they got married.
She was finally able to.
She finally got here, and we met, and now she's pregnant. So praise God.
Praise God. So it's an I guess we're international you know, an international ministry here.
Yeah.
You know, and even now we have, you know, we have couples that we are going through the training with who are in the mainland. So
On the mainland, yeah.
and we've done several of those actually. So yeah. So you know, what are some of the things? So it's, you know, like we said, you know, life can get very busy, very crazy, and especially at this time of the year, you know, there's so much things that distract us, you know, and it can cause stress if we don't be intentional about making some space for, you know, just for us,
Yes.
right? So the first tip, you know, that the parrots mention is being intimate, and in this sense, being intimate is not only the physical intimacy, which is important, but also just taking time every day to connect emotionally.
Yes.
You know, and to be in touch with each other and what's going on inside of us during our day. You know, what's the high of our day? What are the lows? You know.
Yeah.
you know.
Lately, just before Thanksgiving, there was a few low days because everything had to be done before Thanksgiving. And then I said, "Oh, I'm glad Thanksgiving is about over. Oh no, 3 more weeks or 4 more weeks of stress before Christmas." But then I said, but at least we don't have to cook a turkey. And,
Yes,
I
thank
just-
God for a catered experience. Oh,
Yes.
Did I say that? Did I say that?
So yeah, so we're glad that one busy area is over, and I think somehow this is gonna be more fun for Christmas now, coming, knowing we successfully prepared for Thanksgiving when there's sometimes a lot of people. Or we go attend 2 Thanksgiving.
Dinners,
And
yeah.
several people
meals.
have the same thing, one
Sure.
for lunch, one for dinner, one for whatever, and one for us
Right. Right.
today.
Today.
Yes.
The day before.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing, is being intentional. You know, the parrots write, when we're busy and stressed, intimacy is often one of the first things we push to the side. Instead of letting the daily grind drive you apart, be intentional about sharing intimate moments throughout the day. You know, so that can be, you know, just you know, calling and just saying, "I'm thinking of you. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, how are things going?" You know, and just being able to have those little bites, sound
Yeah.
bites together, you know.
Like I did last week, I pulled a little booklet out. We have so many booklets on marriage, or books for marriage about, you know, so many questions you can ask each other and whatever. So before I guess it must have been before dinner, I pulled that out and I thought maybe after dinner, we have no meeting tonight, so let's take one of those chapters and look through part of a chapter, and they have always end the chapter with a question. And so that's what we did. And I said, that was nice. We have to do that more often.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, making those practices habits, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The next thing is to savor those small joys like
Yeah,
that.
like that. Yeah.
Right. You know, savoring small joys, doing, you know, simple things together, like those kinds of answering questions that help us to know one another better, or, you know, playing games.
Yeah.
It can be as simple as
We said when the
a
kids
board game.
were small, we played games with them. What happened with playing games? And now they have kids of their own, and I'm not sure how much playing games nowadays the parents do. Even my brother asked yesterday, do you guys ever do any stuff with the kids, board games or anything like this, or is it everything electronic? I said, yeah, mostly electronic. I said, oh, you should take some of those old-fashioned things out and no, tic-tac-toe. What did we play? Or
We
what
played
was
a
it?
memory game.
Memory game. That's
With our
right.
grandson, actually.
Oh,
One
yeah.
of our grandsons.
And he was really good.
He was
he's
beating
only-
us.
What is he?
Us
6,
old folks.
5, 6?
He's 7 years
Oh,
old.
the older one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said, no, that's funny. We should do it more often. I said, okay. So we're gonna bring in a new habit.
Yeah.
Back to the old days.
Right. You know, it can be these kinds of things, you know, or if you folks, you know, sometimes if you folks enjoy doing things like gardening together, or maybe going out to, just walking, just taking a walk together in the evening, and
As child?
yeah, or
I guess so.
it doesn't have to be, you know. It
I'm
doesn't
just
have to be
thinking when I was small with the parents, but mostly then it was, went because they took the dog out. I went because of the dog.
There you go.
But still, it was still good.
Right.
It was still good, yeah.
Sure. You know, those kinds of things. You know, sitting down at the park, you know, and just talking stories, or you know.
Do you remember when?
Yeah.
Do you remember the vacation when and stuff like that?
And you know, these are the things that we can do. And we can also do something even more, maybe more, like creating joyful memories together. And that's another tip that they give us, you know, to create the joyful memories that will last. Things like taking a special trip together.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like we went on the cruise, right?
In Europe,
Yeah.
river cruise.
Uh-huh.
That was great.
That was fun.
great.
Or one thing that you surprised me with. Remember that?
Oh, gosh, yes, I do. I still can't believe that I gave
couldn't believe it either.
was it Father's Day or
It was a
birthday?
Father's Day.
Day. I had the weird idea that it would be fun for us to go, not hang gliding, what is it?
Paragliding.
Paragliding. And we do
It was on parasailing. I'm sorry.
parasailing, yes, the two of us.
Yeah.
So I bought the duo
A tandem parasailing.
parasailing in Maui.
And we went to
And
Maui.
I was just as surprised as he was that I really dared to to go up there, and totally enjoyed it. Totally.
It
I
was
said,
beautiful,
there's
yeah.
nothing more peaceful than being up there in the air. It was so quiet.
1,000 feet up in the air,
And
right?
it was so quiet, and then we have a GoPro, whatever we had.
Yeah.
We took a little bit video so we could see it afterwards again, and it was not even scary.
No, it was very peaceful.
Yeah.
It was fun, you know.
It was fun.
You know.
We have never done it since.
Yes.
It was about 10 years ago, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you know, these are the memories that will last, right?
Yes.
These are the things that taking those kinds of, vacations, you know, and
Or when we took vacation in Switzerland, and I was teaching you to. What did I teach you?
skiing.
Ski.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
well, yeah, that was memorable.
Well, of course, I had 30 or 25 years experience skiing, and you had a couple hours. And
I think I created my own style of skiing. It's called
yeah.
skiing on my butt.
Yes. But
By
it
the
was still-
seat, literally by the seat of my pants. You know?
Thank God there was once in a while a little tree in the way so that it would stop the speed going downhill. Oh my goodness, now we laugh about it. So mean, yeah? So where were we?
And
Savor the joy, yeah, small joys.
and exchanging gifts. surprising each other with small gifts. It could be, it could be a funny gift. It can be something that the other person has really been wanting to get or had been thinking about getting, but never got around to it. And so, and it can be very. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be very. As long as it's meaningful. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Right. I guess we're at a stage where, but still, maybe like my shorts, my Maui and Son shorts. We went and bought that for me for, what was that, for my birthday?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. For this year, and so I got to use that when we went to Maui.
Yeah.
I actually wore it when we went to Maui, and it can be, but like I say, it can be something very simple, but just as long as it's meaningful.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and just breaking up the routine. So breaking up the routine can be something like, hey, let's go out for, breakfast in the middle of a work day, and go for a brunch, quote unquote, or yeah.
I just blanked out what you did for me. I remember it was a long time ago. It was in Maui because we dated in Maui and got married in Maui. But I can't remember right now what it was. I just totally.
Well, I used to call every.
Oh yeah, 11 o'clock. You called from work. Your lunch break was 11. So I just so happened to have business to do in the office, and the phone rang. Oh, Elizabeth, there's a phone call for you. I knew already because he always faithfully called at 11 o'clock. And we dated, and you worked there for about a year at the at that place. So I probably got about 300 phone calls there, except on Sundays maybe. Yeah.
But breaking up the routine, taking off, to just go do something fun, in the middle of the day, or surprising your spouse
with a dinner, a special dinner also.
Yeah, just things like this to kind of just make it special for one another,
Yeah.
And remembering to play. Now that is something that we, I think, as adults have a hard time, maintaining that, playing together.
Yeah, playing together is important for the relationship. It's not just wasting time. You're wasting time doing this now also, but we goof around every so often, so that's kind of interesting. We do that.
Yes. And just finding, it could be, finding some hobby that you can do together, or finding maybe a recreational activity, whether it's hiking or pickleball.
Oh yeah, that too.
Pickleball,
Yes.
those kinds of things, or just going to the beach or going to the pool together.
Yeah.
Making time.
Yeah, we don't need to spend a lot of money all the time. Sometimes. But I just remembered something else, and you said some others. when we lived in Switzerland for a year, I had the idea of taking him to a restaurant where I only was one time, and I don't know, remember the name of the restaurant that it gave it away, but you go in the restaurant and at one point you hear rain. It's not really raining, but you hear rain, and all of a sudden the light flickered and there was thunder and lightning in the restaurant. It's, of course, it was safe restaurant, it was not leaking or anything, but then the worst part is when you got really scared. Oh my gosh, now it's really scared, oh my goodness, all of a sudden the house shakes. It's like you got the thunderstorm and a little bit an earthquake all together. And then they said, ladies and gentlemen, I think for safety of our place now, we better go over the bridge, over the air, into the other room. And when you are on the bridge, there's a narrow bridge for 2 at the time or 4 at the time, I think was, all of a sudden that whole bridge was shaking. I experienced it once before, but you didn't before. And that was really scary. But then afterwards they let you relax. And I think there was with dessert, and is that the restaurant where they give you games to play afterwards? You know.
Well, actually, they gave you the games before while you're waiting for your dinner to come in.
Was it before?
Yeah, and so they had all these board games
board
and things. Yeah, that was
Snoekiebok. Yeah.
Snoekiebok.
Yeah, they let you relax first and all that, and then you wait for your dinner, and all that stuff came before the dinner. And then afterwards it was just a great farewell and thank you for the scary moment, and hopefully it's not what should I say, hopefully people around don't know too much what all happened in that restaurant, so they can be surprised as we were.
Yeah, it was interesting because I guess it had been a farmer's house.
Yeah, it was a farmer's house.
For hundreds of years, it was a family house, and they converted it into this restaurant, and had kind of like an experience.
Looks like a farmhouse.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a regular farmhouse.
Yeah. But it was really funny. Inside was they had all these different things too, and they also had you could go into horses. They had the big oxen, and they had all kinds of animals, farm animals, on the side. That you could walk through and see.
It's quite interesting. So it takes like a whole afternoon to have lunch. Like you have to count about 2-3 hours for lunch or for dinner or whatever it is.
Yeah. So that was a fun thing to do, and they just looking for, like they say, looking for new sources of joy in our lives, creating new experiences, looking for opportunities, to experience something different and expand our horizon. Maybe it's trying a new restaurant, it can be, even just driving out to a new area of the island for us, that we've never been to, or to a new beach or something like this, I know one time I took you out and we went all the way to Lanikai in the middle of the day.
Oh yeah.
I took off. I surprised you, and I took off, and I went. We went all the way to Lanikai.
And then.
And we had we bought some bento box.
Is that garlic place, or I don't know?
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, no.
It was. You took a half a day off or something.
Yeah, I took a half a day off and surprised you. I
And
think it was for your
surprised
birthday.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And, so it's doing things, sometimes spontaneously, sometimes it's, being planned,
Mhm.
And like you did for my birthday, and we went to that, what used to be Schrader's, now it's a totally different
Oh yeah.
hotel over
It
there.
was a little hotel in Kaneohe side.
Kaneohe Bay.
At the Kaneohe Bay.
Yeah. And you
And then we could go
surprised me.
surfing or
No, we went.
No.
We went on a, that cruise
little cruise to the
to an island.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That's no more, I think.
Not
Oh,
that
they
way.
changed
They
it,
changed.
yeah.
It changed management.
Yeah,
The family
so-
sold the.
Yeah,
But it was
I remember
still
that.
that was
I
it was
remember.
a fun, and that created new memories for us, right?
Yes, yes.
So, these are the kinds of things that we can do to keep growing together.
Yeah.
And like for in this season, maybe it can be, doing something different. Maybe we won't, we'll have a different kind of Christmas breakfast or something,
Or Christmas tree or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take time now or when the marriage on the spot is finished to talk with each other. Think about what was the biggest surprise birthday or what is the biggest surprise Christmas or whatever it might be. It doesn't always have to be expensive.
Mm-mm.
It can be very cheap. It can be very simple, but something which you will not forget
Mhm.
very easily.
Mhm. Even walking, the Honolulu, the lights, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Christmas lights. So,
Mhm.
well, God bless you, and as you work together, as you play together, and
Mhm.
enjoy, create new joys in this season.
Yeah, let that be a new year now, past the pandemic, into a new, clean area of life. God bless you. Aloha.